What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Riot, and we finally made it to the con here in Warren, Minnesota. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Riot. Look, and thank y'all for trucking with me. Man, you know, right now I'm in Louisiana. It's scorching hot, but baby, it's story time. You know, I want to tell y'all a story. You know, out there on the road, trucking and all that kind of stuff, you know, accidents happen, baby, all the time. And you know, the Riot isn't exempt. So I had an accident, you know, and I was waiting until now, to the peak heat, to tell y'all about it. Why? Because that was some cold shit. Truck with me. Well, this particular load, baby, this was a load to remember. I'll never forget it. So I picked this load up in Utah, and I was bringing it to Minnesota, actually to a DOT facility, right? Yeah. So I'm leaving out of, you know, I'm leaving out of state and whatnot. But let me tell you, the weather, it was pretty cold. It wasn't so cold, but it's pretty cold. You follow me? So I get to go on this other route that I'd never gone on. I went through North Dakota and South Dakota. By the way, those states are beautiful. I drove through Devil's Slide, you know. It was beautiful, baby. But this is when it got a little bit tricky. So as I'm going, ooh, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Nah, weather's out here is storming, baby. It's about to storm. So I'm driving through North Dakota. You know, I'm like, where's Mount Rushmore? It might be South Dakota, one of them. But I noticed the temperature started dropping drastically, baby. I'm talking about negatives. At one point it was negative 3 degrees, and I was like, hey, this is the coldest it's ever been. So I keep on driving, you know, driving through the ice and the darkness, snow, you know, dangerous stuff, baby. Nothing to be toyed with. Driving through that like no sweat. Literally. I had to roll the windows down, driving. It froze over, rolled the windows up, turned the heat on. You know, just the normal routine of hot and cold to keep myself awake. So we get to we get to Minnesota, and we're just going to Warren, Minnesota to drop off this load. Now this is where it gets crazy. It was so cold outside. When I was at this truck stop, I let Artemis out to use the bathroom. She walked to the end of the truck and discombobulated. Her body was like, ah, she couldn't move. I had to pick her up, bring her back into the truck, let her defrost, and come back to life, baby. That's how cold it was. It was like, at one point, it was like negative 12 degrees, I believe, was the coldest I've seen. Negative 13 or 15, negative 16, actually. But this is where I cannot believe this happened, bro. So I'm going to drop off this load, and the road that I'm on, is the delivery is on, is a straight, long road. It looked about 50 miles. Nothing to the left, nothing to the right. We had a couple buildings, no signs on these buildings, and the only thing you can see is snow. Snow as far as your eyes can see. So this is where it gets messed up. I passed the facility, and I'm driving. I'm like, there's nowhere to turn around. And you know, the only place that they had to turn around was this one driveway. Clear driveway. The sides, it looked like it was sturdy, you know, it had grass poking up out the snow and whatnot, and there was a train track. So I had to make a decision. There was no traffic. I was like, I'm gonna have to pull nose first into this driveway, back out my trailer, back my trailer out onto the highway, and go back because I missed the cons. So everything was all good. I pulled up in there. Nose gets to the tip of the train track. Everything behind me is all clear. I start to back it on up, baby. Backing it up, using the mirrors, using both sides. The next thing you know, it's like I couldn't move. I'm like, oh no. So I look out the truck, and my damn truck's in the ditch. The back tires are in the ditch. The trailer's in the ditch. And my nose is on the train track. And anybody who's out there knows, that's in trucking, knows that, hey, train tracks are bad, ditches are bad. Your boy The Riot was in both at the same time. Hey, man, I stopped. I was like, I can't believe this. I tried to drive out of it. I just dug my tires deeper and deeper. It turns out that the grass that was poking out of the snow, about this high, it looked like the ground was right there, was literally 3 feet below the snow. It was 3 feet of snow that I backed into. I was like, oh my God. So you know what The Riot did? The Riot does what he does best. I get out of jams, baby. I get out of jams. So I was like, think, baby. And y'all listen to this and take this into consideration when you become trucking. If you ever get into an experience like this, take my experience and learn from it, baby. So I look forward. I'm like, a train may come. I'm in a ditch and my nose is on the track. What do? I look forward and I seen that blue sign, an emergency sign. So the first thing that I did, I stopped and I dialed that number. And you know what? Your boy shut down the train tracks just like that. Boom. Before I even called dispatch or my DM or anybody, I shut down the train tracks. Boom. Second thing I did, there was a long driveway and there was a house at the end. So me, I'm in coveralls at this time. Long johns, baby. I put on my boots and I take off running down that road. I ran down the road. I was knocking on the door to see if perhaps they had like a shovel or something. Nobody answered. There was a shovel on the porch. I took the shovel. I went back and I started digging the tires out. I started digging. Trucks were passing by, blowing the horn. I'm just out there in coveralls, -7 degrees, freezing. Not giving a damn. Digging my truck out. I'll dig. I'll go in the truck. I'll try to pull out. It wasn't working. I was just going deeper and deeper. I'll get my boards, try to put them under there. Nothing was working. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to hop in a sleeper and go to sleep. This is some bullshit. So I got back in the truck and, I called my DM. I was like, hey, Josh, this is Josh. Speaking, by the way, best DM at Melton. His name is Josh. If y'all get him, hey, that man's golden. But I was like, hey, this is Josh. I have a little situation. And he's so calm, cool, and collected. He's like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, yeah, kind of backed into a ditch in the snow, as well as my nose is on the train track. I called and shut down the train track. And they're going to be sending somebody out here to watch until I get out of this jam. So the police pulled up behind me, and Josh was like, yeah, all right, just let me know. Actually, I'm gonna see if there's a wrecker service around there, a tow truck that can come pull you out. There was no tow trucks in sight, baby. We was in Warren, Minnesota. No companies around. So, I sat there and I was like, something's about to shake. I was out in the front looking at my truck, thinking, like, how am I gonna get out of this? And a pickup truck pulls up. And I'm like, hey, do you live here? He's like, no, I work here. And I was like, wow. He's like, maybe I can help you out. I was like, oh yeah, just want to let you know I borrowed you guys a shovel off that porch. And I'm trying to dig my way out of this. So this man had an excavator type 4-wheeler contraption machine that he hooked up to the front of my truck, just out the blue, baby. See, and one thing I learned, and I've been learning, is like things happen along your reaction to things. So, I was calm, cool, collected. I did things smart. I didn't panic. Shoot, I was about to go to sleep. And I believe the way you react to certain situations, situations work themselves out. So he goes and gets his excavator. It took a little time. He chained up the front and he pulled me out, baby. And not only that, he helped me back out of the situation. And mind you, at this time, I was fairly new. It was February, out on my own, you know what I'm talking about. Just finished training, did this January, I was up in February. And I got out and I got to deliver the load on time, mind you, on time. So I backtrack. I called Josh and I was like, hey, there's this guy that can help pull me out of this, if that's okay. He's like, yeah, just let me know when you get out. So I got out and I called Josh. I was like, hey, Josh, I got out the situation and everything. And I just want to tell you, we was about to hang up and I was like, oh yeah, one more thing. He's like, what's up, Josh? I was like, happy Valentine's Day. And we busted out laughing. So that is a rough story of this load that I had dropped off in and I crashed into a ditch and whatnot. But I did get the load off in time. And this is a little bit of the video. I'm going to show you guys what exactly I was loading, baby. Truck with me. After this morning's series of unfortunate events, we still have some stuff that we have to take care of with the trailer. But if you follow me around, I'll show you what we were hauling, since I didn't show you at the beginning of this video. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more when I get back into the truck, because right now it is cold out here. Truck with me. So on this load, we hauled a bunch of cement and we're getting it unloaded right now at DOT in Minnesota. So this was basically the load, and it wasn't that heavy, about 46,000 pounds altogether. But we were here for a little while before we had someone show up to be able to unload us, because the place, I guess they weren't working because of the snow. But we did have someone to come here and they're unloading as we speak. So truck with me. I'm gonna get back to you when I get in the truck.